Well, this is probably one of the easiest videos I've ever had to make. What's up everyone, Andrew Baena here, and I'm making a quick video to tell you about the Parallax X plugin from Neural DSP. If you're familiar with my channel and the bass tones that you've probably heard on this channel for pretty much the past 4 years, it's pretty much all been Neural DSP's Parallax plugin, and what they've done recently is update this plugin to the X mode. X Games mode? Sure, let's call it that.
Oh my god, he on X Games mode.
So basically Neural DSP has gone ahead and added a couple of features to this plugin to kind of standardize it along with all of their newer plugins, as well as give it the ability to have quad cortex compatibility, which will be coming out very, very soon. So if you're familiar with this plugin already, it's going to look very similar with a few new features, and it sounds even better than you probably remember it sounding. So you already heard how this plugin sounded in a full demo mix in that intro section there. I was using my Dingwall NG25 tuned all the way down to drop E using a single instance of the Parallax X plugin. So in this video, I'm not going to do a deep dive on the plugin, but I'm going to highlight a couple of the key new features that were added by Neural DSP recently. So once you open up the plugin, it will look very similar to the previous version, but rest assured you can still use the old version if you have your own presets to make sure you can copy settings and all that. So it preserves all your old presets. As you can see here, I have both instances of the plugin on this track, but with the old version muted, which looks like this, versus the new version like this. Very similar, a couple different things. So to speak a little bit about some of the new features, what they've added is the transpose function, which basically lets you change the tuning of your instrument. Pretty self-explanatory. So if you have a bass guitar in drop A and you want it to be in drop G, but you don't want to retune it, you can just transpose it down -2 and it'll get you pretty much there. I personally didn't use this feature in this demo because again, my bass is already tuned all the way down to drop E and we do not need to go lower than that. But you could if you want. In addition to that, they've also added a metronome, and they've also added something called a live tuner. So if you open up the tuner down here, you can switch that on, and then you can see down in this corner now, it's gonna basically always show you a tuner in the bottom left corner of the screen. Pretty handy for while you're tracking, since you're gonna be constantly retuning your bass when you're recording to make sure that you are as in tune as possible. Other than that, they've also redesigned the plugin slightly. So again, it looks like this now versus the old version like this. It's very similar with some new graphic assets, which look really nice, and it also performs a lot better. Parallax was one of the most intensive plugins on my computer, and with this new version, it seems to run a lot smoother. I don't really know how they did that, but hey, I'm happy they did. So that pretty much covers this plugin in terms of the new features and the redesign. What I'm going to do next is just show you how that bass tone sounds by itself outside of a full demo mix, since I know a lot of you are going to want to hear that, and then maybe we'll just cycle through a few different presets that are included in the plugin so you can hear what those sound like as well. Let's do it. So like I said, it sounds awesome. This is the bass tone that I have personally created, which you can see here. This is more or less a recreation of the tone I was using on the previous version of the plugin because I already thought it sounded really good. And this sounds just ever so slightly even better. And I'm very excited to be able to use this on the quad cortex if I ever need to play bass live for some reason. So to briefly go over the controls, you obviously have your low section, your mid section, and your high section. So you can control the lows, the mids, and the highs all separately from each other, which is what makes this plugin so versatile and why so many people use this plugin. It's really awesome, especially for stupidly low tuned bass like what I'm doing. And then of course, on the right side, we have an equalizer section. And of course, you can also select different cabinet options, different speakers, different microphones, all that good stuff on this section. So in the middle of the plugin, you also have this drop-down menu where you can select a bunch of different presets that are included in the plugin, or of course make your own like I did here. So let's say for example we wanted to switch over to the grind parallel preset. You can just select that and it's going to change the bass tone like so. Sounds pretty awesome, and of course you can cycle through these presets using these arrow keys or the drop-down menu. Let's try checking out the Chugalax plugin. Fuck, I keep saying plugin, I mean to say preset. So tons of different options, and you can get really creative with your bass tone using this plugin. I personally am going to switch it back to that Baena bass preset because that's the one that I think sounds the best. You know, I might be partially biased there. But anyways, that's pretty much it for this video. Like I said, this is a really easy video because I genuinely already used the previous version of this plugin on pretty much every project I've done for the past like 4 years. So this was pretty much a no-brainer to switch over to this version of the plugin. I'm very happy to see Neural DSP continuously updating their old plugins, and I'm very excited for that quad cortex compatibility, which has been highly anticipated since I bought that device, and it's nice to know that it is finally coming soon. With that being said, if you have the Parallax plugin, definitely go download this update. It's free for anyone who already owns this plugin, and if you don't have this plugin yet, go check it out. It's going to be linked in the description and the pinned comment below. It's by far the bass plugin that I use the most, and I would highly recommend it. That's going to be it for this video. A big thank you to Neural DSP for sponsoring. Thank you for watching, and of course, last but not least, a massive thank you to all my Patreon members whose names are on the screen at this point in time. If you're interested in audio downloads, guitar tabs, stems, or a shout out on the screen like these lovely people here, you can find all of that over on my Patreon page, which is also linked in the description below. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you next time.